Hello, I want to talk to you today about the second option for vagus nerve stimulation available on the NHS. The last video was about the surgically implanted stimulator. This is about the portable handheld vagus nerve stimulator. There's a company called Gammacore, and they make this machine that has only just been authorised for use by the NHS this year, 2021. It's roughly the size of a mobile phone, and you hold it against the neck to produce the stimulation externally. So it's giving you the same treatment, still vagus nerve stimulation, but a different method. Now, to use it, you have to have training. You need to make sure that you're placing it in the right place, that you understand the intensity that you need for your treatment. You'll also have to use a conductive gel that allows the stimulation to penetrate as deep as it needs to go. It's only available on the NHS at the moment to prevent cluster headaches. It's not available for migraines or fibromyalgia or anxiety or any of the other things that it will treat, but it has only just been authorised, so perhaps they will come. How you use the machine. Let's see, if you're having cluster headaches, to prevent your headaches in the morning, you would apply the gel, you'd switch on your machine, and then apply stimulation for 2 minutes, and then the machine will automatically stop. You switch it off, wait 10 seconds, and then repeat that again 2 more times. So you've had 3 2-minute stimulations, and then you'll do that again in the evening. Now, if that's not enough for you and you still get a cluster headache during the day, you'll have to do what's called an acute treatment. It's the same thing again. You apply the gel, you switch it on, 2-minute stimulation, it will stop, you turn it off, wait 10 seconds, and do it again, and then do it again. And then if 3 minutes have passed and the cluster headache is still with you, you can repeat the whole procedure again. So you may end up having quite a few stimulations during the day. The machine itself is limited to 30 in a 24-hour period. The instructions are slightly different if you have a headache, the amount of stimulations and the distance between them, but at the moment it's not available for headaches or migraines on the NHS. Can you get it privately? It's a great device as long as you have no problem remembering to use a device or physically holding a device for that long. It's a very good option, and I've seen quotes for hundreds of pounds a month for this device, but I haven't found any stockists. So I haven't found anyone who will sell it to you privately in the UK. And if they did, it would cost you hundreds of pounds a month to use. What do you have to do to be eligible to get it on the NHS? At the moment, you have to have cluster headaches that aren't responding to medication or oxygen treatment. It has to be something the NHS can justify spending the money on. So if your condition can be treated by less expensive methods like medication, that's what they're going to do because they only have so much money to spend. Gammacore themselves, the company that produce the device, offer 3-month free trials to the NHS. So if your condition was cluster headaches and it was medication resistant, then the NHS would be able to get hold of the device and provide it to you for 3 months to try and see if it helps you. Thereafter, they would have to get the conductive gel. That runs out, depends on how fast you use it, but they'd have to get things called refill cards. Now, these are things that go into the machine that allow it to function. So a refill card will tell the machine that it's allowed to produce up to 30 stimulations a day for 93 days. So every 3 months or so you need a new card. This would be part of your prescription as far as I can understand. It would be at prescription cost. But this has only just been allowed, so if there are any special rulings, I don't know about them yet. So you'd get a prescription for occasional new gel, and every 3 months you'd need a refill card. So you have the benefits of vagus nerve stimulation, and you don't have the negatives of having to have a surgery to have a thing implanted. You do have to physically remember to use a machine and apply those treatments yourself. There are other negatives, I'm afraid. You can't have it if you have one of the exclusion criteria. If you have an implanted electrical device, if that's an implanted hearing aid or a pacemaker or any other electrical device, if you've got any metal in or around your neck, if you've been diagnosed with a narrowing of the artery in the neck, if you've had an operation that cut the vagus nerve, you can't have this. If you're pregnant, if you have high blood pressure or low blood pressure, or abnormally fast pulse or an abnormally slow pulse, I think that's all the exclusion criteria. These don't apply to the medical Daith piercing because it doesn't give you any electrical stimulation. It's a physical stimulation. So there's none of those criteria that you have to meet. There are of course side effects to using the machine. They can be irritation at the site, pain in the neck, in the shoulder, in the head, a metallic taste, your taste not being as it was before, dizziness. But for people who are having cluster headaches, all of these are easy things to put up with compared to the very serious problem that is cluster headaches. If, say, your problem was headaches, migraines, you would have to use that 3-month period, if you were able to get it, to decide if the side effects were something you could cope with. Those side effects, as I said before, those side effects don't appear when you have the Daith piercing either. The only side effect of having a Daith piercing really is that you now have a piercing to keep clean. And if you've had any other piercings, it's not very different from keeping any of those clean. There is another device that I want to have a look at that attaches to the ear. So there will be a third part to this, alternatives to medical Daith piercing for vagus nerve stimulation.